What's up guys, Brad here from Piney Grove, and we got Mrs. Piney Grove in the background doing some mowing, and also Bella there running the pasture. It's the first time she's been out here in 3 weeks because I just had shoulder surgery. With this shoulder replacement surgery, I can't drive the mower or drive the tractor, so I get Bella duty while Deb is on the machine. But today's video is going to be about our viral video about us cutting, raking, and baling the hay out here on our front 5 acres of our 20-acre property. So that video got 9 million views on both YouTube and Facebook. We haven't posted it on TikTok yet. We expect that it'll do well there as well. We got a lot of new subscribers out of that video. We got a lot of questions. But with every video that goes viral, we also got a lot of hate. So we're gonna address all them. But first of all, let's start off with some hate mail we got. So I opened up that short, and we'll play it here in the background, but I opened up that video with saying, hey, we bought 20 acres out here in the country and we cleared it and we're gonna make hay out of it, or something like that. Nothing really earth-shattering. Well, you would have thought that I had kicked somebody's puppy. People absolutely hate the fact that anybody on this planet would dare to cut down a tree. But there's our driveway coming in. We own on the other side of that driveway, we own 20 acres. Now I'm gonna spin around, and all this was in that video. But what do you see? You see some grass, you see a pond, you see a whole bunch of trees, don't you? See a bunch of trees over there, that's all our property. You see a house back there, you see trees behind the house. So we cleared about 6 of the 20 acres. And maybe that didn't come across clearly in that video, but that video was 41 seconds long. What do you expect? I can't tell our whole life story in 41 seconds. But the people that basically said that we were despicable, how could we possibly deforest? How could we basically wreck the ecosystem? And I don't know, I guess there was some insinuations there that Piney Grove was creating global warming. I'm not gonna get into global warming, climate change, whatever you want to call it, because that's a political hot button topic, and that's not what we do out here at Piney Grove. We try to focus on the positives. Me and Deb saved up 30 years of our life, and we sacrificed, we saved, we didn't go out to eat, we didn't take vacations, we didn't buy a new car every couple years. We live well below our means, and we bought a piece of property that we want to make it the way that we want to make it. If you go out and you save your whole life and there's something you want to do and it's legal and it's something you've been dreaming about and it fulfills your goals, then I'm excited for you. Please go out there and do it. But that's what Deb and I did out here. We bought this acreage and we want to turn it into what we want to turn it into. And we're perfectly within our rights to do that. I gave up 21 years of my life to serve in the Air Force. Don't need any thanks for that. I did it, I volunteered, fully volunteer force. I believe in America, and I believe in American freedom, and I live in a pretty free state here in Florida. We're gonna be good stewards of this land. We believe in that. We're going to do everything we can to enhance the wildlife, grow crops off of this land, to live off of it to some extent, right? We're still gonna buy things from the grocery store. We're not trying to go off grid here. You do what you wanna do to your land. I'll do what I want to do to my land, and let's applaud each other and let's celebrate that, and let's not hide behind our keyboards and make a whole bunch of nasty comments. We dedicate our time to show you and share with you our way of life, and to get a comment like we're despicable. Literally, you sir are despicable. You sir are what's wrong with this planet and this world. I'm not what's wrong with this planet or this world, guy. We're out here trying to live our life. We're participating in life. We're not hiding in a dark closet. We're not living in a concrete jungle. We want to be out here with nature. We want to coexist with nature. But at the end of the day, it's our land. If we want to cut down one of these trees, we're going to cut down one of these trees, guys. A lot of comments of, you should plant trees. You should do this. You should do that. Well, this is YouTube, guys, not you should. If you want to plant a tree, if you want to go find 5 acres like we have out front here, and you want to take this perfect bahia grass pasture, and you want to plant trees, man, I'm excited for you. Go out and knock yourself out. and plant you some trees. But this is what we want to grow on this land. Why didn't you just buy land that was already cleared? So for 1 year, we looked for land. We didn't know exactly where we wanted to buy land, but we had a general idea. And we had requirements for that. And by requirements, right, we didn't want any swampland. We didn't want to be too close to a town. We didn't want to be too far away from a town. We didn't want to live on a dirt road that was going to be hard to get in and out of. We're in Florida, it rains a lot, roads get muddy. We looked at a lot of pieces of property. Some of them were wooded. Some of them were, let's call them farmland. Some of them were a mix. So you can't really just assume that out there that there's a 20-acre piece of property that has half of it in woods and half of it in pasture like we wanted. And usually if you find a piece of property like that, it's going to already be built upon. And we didn't want to buy something that was a piece of land partly the way we wanted it, and then we'd have to invest all this money in rebuilding. There was no affordable 20-acre piece of property except this one that met our requirements, and there certainly was nothing out there that was completely built up, turnkey ready, that we could afford. I think we found one property, it was only 10 acres though, that I would say was close to the way we would have built it out. And we're trying to do everything debt-free, so it's easier to buy the piece of land first and then every year improve upon it. We didn't want to go into debt for like $500,000 for someone else's dream. We wanted to just slowly create our own dream. So that's why we didn't just go out and buy someone else's farm or someone else's cleared land. That's not what we were looking for. We do like trees, and we didn't want just 20 acres of farmland. And again, it wasn't available anyway. This is Florida. A lot of land is flooded. This particular piece of property is a prime piece of property. I'm walking up a hill. My neighbor actually owns the next 20 acres over. He's at the top of the hill. I'm at the next step down from that. And then below me, over there on the next 20 acres, they're even lower than us. So that's real important that you get property that drains well. The whole time I'm not looking at the camera because I'm looking at my dog. Okay, I'm up here on a little hill. You can see Deb, my wife, mowing in the background. Absolutely gorgeous piece of property. Why would you hate on anyone that saves all their life for something like this? So there were many comments from people that live in the country, people that I guess own something like this or something similar. Number one, calling us city slickers. I don't really care what you call us. It doesn't matter to me. I got thick skin. We're content creators, been doing this for 2 years, but we're not city slickers. I grew up on a farm, did some stuff with the Air Force for 21 years. I'm doing some stuff with the Navy now for 14 years. I'm getting back to my roots. This isn't new to me. My wife, different story. She's never, owned land, never been on, lived on a farm or lived that life. So she's more of a city slicker, but she wasn't in the video, I was. So number one, I'm not a city slicker. Number two, a comment similar to that was, why do you city folks, not a city folk, but why do you city folks want to come out to the country and change it and cut down all the trees? Again, that tree thing. Well, we didn't cut down all the trees, we've covered that, but why is that a city folk mentality? I grew up in the country. We had a 200-acre farm. My dad routinely would clear an acre or two of land and make more cropland or make more pasture for the cattle. It's not a city thing to make this. Does this look city at all? It's just ridiculous to me that our country is so divisive that country people are fighting country people. There was one comment where a dude said, and that's what you do. You clear your land and then we, country people, will come over and key your car. That's got to be the most idiotic comment I've ever heard. Number one, you better not come on this property and try and key our car. First Amendment right, we definitely believe in that. We also believe in the second. How dumb a comment is that? If you cut down trees, that's why your car gets keyed. I'm looking at my neighbor's property, 20 acres over, top of the hill, beautiful property. It's almost 100% clear. There might be 30 trees on the whole property. There's 30 trees on our property right here. It's just crazy what people will say on social media. All right, let's get off the tree farm thing and let's talk about another comment that was pretty prevalent. Something along the lines of, How do you say you're rich without saying you're rich? Must be nice to have daddy's money. Rich people have no clue. Something like, okay, you got $1 million worth of equipment on a $2 million piece of land. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about me and my wife, Deb, Miss Piney Grove, being rich. We're not rich, guys. I was in the military 21 years. I worked for the Navy for 14. Haven't inherited $1. In fact, the house behind me is on our property that we bought and is built for my mom and dad who are aging. And that's something we did out of the kindness of our heart. And my wife loves that zero-turn mower. She loves the country life. And she's just having a ball out there mowing. Again, getting back to the equipment. Oh, that's $1 million worth of equipment. Number one, in that short, there was a John Deere tractor, a 5075. It had a sickle bar mower. And then there was our tractor that we paid for, the orange Kubota L3901. And there was a hay rake and there was a mini baler. So $100,000 worth of equipment, of which about 10,000 of it was ours. So if $10,000 in one tractor makes us rich, I guess we're rich, but I don't think so. People need to, before they write negative comments, a little bit of research. Google is your friend, and you could easily have researched what all that equipment cost and known it wasn't $1 million of equipment. And then land in Florida goes for about $3,000 to $5,000 an acre for unimproved land like I'm standing on right now. If we have 20 acres and we go to the highest part of that figure, this land costs no more than $100,000. I know that's a big figure. I'm not trying to minimize that, and we didn't pay that much for it, but I'm just saying, you didn't watch a $3 million video, not even close. There was a comment, how much can you sell one of those bales of hay for? If you were to take that same equipment and go do some custom baling and charge somebody, say $5 a bale to bale their hay, the wrapping, that red, white, blue wrapping that went around it, it's called netting, that was $1, that cost $1 per bale. But if you really wanted to make money, you would go out and custom bale, because this equipment lasts for thousands of hours. You wouldn't just bale 5 acres. And again, we don't own the equipment, so we don't have that investment. So I think there were some people that thought it was a pretty exciting thing to do and wanted to know, you know, can you make money at it? Well, we didn't do it to make money at it. We did it this summer to learn the process. I baled hay, you know, when I was a youngster, 17 years on a farm in Virginia, 200-acre farm. Baled a lot of hay, but I wasn't responsible for the process. I was just child labor, right? Free child labor. I had never been responsible for the whole process. And when our friend offered us the equipment to try it and make some videos, we did it. So we're not trying to make a living baling hay out here. What we want to do is be self-sufficient. Sometimes hay isn't available, and eventually we're going to have animals out here. And my wife wants goats and mini horses and alpacas and I don't know what. We're going to figure that out. We haven't figured it out yet. But they're going to need hay. And do we want to go out and buy hay? $60 for those big bales, $10 for the small bales. Do we know the quality of the hay? Do we know where it came from? Is there foreign matter in it? There's all those things. But there's also some satisfaction in doing it yourself. So while some people may be worried about the bottom line, we're not worried about the bottom line so much. We're not rich, but we can afford to buy hay baling equipment, save ourselves a couple $1,000s a year in hay for our own animals, maybe sell a little bit of it. And if it takes us 20 years to recoup that, then we're okay with it. Because this question came up as well. I'd love to do the homestead life. I'd love to get out of the city. Can you do that and make a living? I say it would be hard, but we got a lot of land here we could turn into tomatoes and strawberries and pumpkins and things like that. And we could go at the local farmer's market and sit there on Saturdays and sell stuff. We could raise beef cattle out here, sell the beef. We could raise pigs, right? Put them back in the woods behind the camera. We could do all those things, and we probably could self-sustain on 20 acres. I don't think you're gonna get rich doing that, but you probably could sustain yourself and have a nice living doing that. That's not what we're trying to do. We're preparing for that last phase of our life where we're gonna retire out here. And as I mentioned earlier, we've saved all our life to do this. So at some point in your life, you stop trying to earn money and you learn how to spend the money that you've saved. But to those that wanna do this, It would be a hard life, but you could do it. I think that addresses all the major points I wanted to address from that video. And again, we're very positive out here at Piney Grove, and we appreciate the 250,000 people who gave us a thumbs up. 96% approval rate or whatever of that video, meaning there was more thumbs up than thumbs down by a long shot. And for those of you that have subbed, you know, please go back through our catalog. You can watch this land transform, and there's more to come. We have our house plans in work with a drafter, and we'll be building our forever home out here in next year in a couple months. And we'll be doing other things. We're going to be baling hay again. We're going to be planting more things in the garden. We're just going to be doing more and more things to improve our property. So we hope since you took the time to sub that you'll watch our long videos as well as our short videos. We're going to keep doing both. We put out 2 long videos a week and 2 short videos a week. But we appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to throw up a couple links here to some really awesome Piney Grove videos. But until next time, y'all take care out there. And remember, life's short, tractor hard. And if Deb was here, she'd say, and be kind as well. Take care, y'all.